Wow, I think the biggest moment was I took a $1,000 account to like $10,000, and then I took it from 10,000 to like $60,000, and then I lost a lot of that money on GBP JPY. I will never forget. It was a big. It was I lost like maybe like $40,000.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another TFT interview. Today, I have the pleasure to host Nathan, who comes all the way from Puerto Rico. Hello, Nathan.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good, good.
So, can you please first introduce yourself and tell us what got you into trading?
Well, my name is Nathan. I'm in Puerto Rico right now. They know me as Moonwalker here in Puerto Rico. I started trading about 4 years ago, probably. Started doing funded challenges maybe like a year ago. I'm currently have a funded account with the Funded Trader and my Forex funds. Or I've done quite a few payouts. Funded Trader is the best funding program right now. And yeah, basically I'm a fundamental trader. But that's basically it for like right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm focusing right now on funded challenges, just because the risk reward personally for myself, just because you have to show that you're profitable, and it's really worth it.
And how did you find TFT? How was your experience with us?
I found TFT. I think it was throughout social media. I think when I'm starting to follow these topics, a lot of people, I saw a lot of great reviews online, and I was trying to start focusing on doing funded challenges because a lot of people in my community were talking about them. I already have had my personal account, which I was doing great on, but a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you can use the money from somebody else," blah blah blah. And I was like, "Oh, I don't." I at first I was like, "I don't do that. You don't need that. You don't need that." And then I was like, let's do this because it's truly worth it. As long as you respect what you're doing, and it all goes for the personal account. It goes for the funded account. As long as you treat it in the correct manner, and you stay true to what you're doing, you can be successful in it. So I think it's a great way for newcomers and people that are learning to trade, and people that don't have enough funds to start making that liquidity for themselves, because you can take that money and you can open a real account with that. If you don't, in the case that you might not have enough money in your personal account, or you don't like the profit that you're making, like over here you can make 5, 10, 3, whatever makes you happy. You can make it if you're profitable, and you can take that money and put it somewhere else. You can invest it, maybe stocks, housing. You can do everything, anything with it. So it's a great hedge.
Yeah, it speeds up the process a lot, especially like if you don't have
Definitely.
enough capital to start with. You can get big capital for small money. You have the
Definitely.
skill. Okay, can you tell us a little bit about your learning curve? Like, did you join any communities? Did you have mentors? How was the whole learning process?
Well, one thing I have taken from this is that if you focus yourself in someone, then it can propel you towards success, like trading. So I've learned from quite a few people. I like to move from the people that I'm learning from. So right now, like what I do is I'm a fundamental trader. 100%. So, for example, like last week, we knew that the euro was lagging. I know that the euro is weak and the yen is strong right now because China is ramping up production. So I know that fundamentally the yen should have never been that weak. You got euro JPY at like 144,500, 144.9. So we took that sell last week. At least like I took that sell with my community, and we took that. We righted that wave all the way down to like 142 flat. So if I know where fundamentals are playing out, then it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of waiting and being patient, and that's it. It's a two-way street, because it like, for example, the euro might not be where I want it to be, and it might make me wait. So I got 35 days on a challenge, so I need to maintain that psychological discipline where I know that the move will happen. I need to be patient. I don't want to fall in a trap. I don't want to lose the challenge because I'm rushing into the euro.
Mm.
So it's all a matter of being there at the moment. That's the I say that's the best part of being a fundamental trader, that I know where the currency should be.
Mm.
Uh,
And
so
did you start with learning first technicals, or how did you end up just focusing on fundamentals?
I think a lot of people start learning with fundamentals just because fundamentals are it's easy. You can put a trend line, you can put a little triangle, you can put where a bullish flag or bear flag, a bullish engulfing bar, right? So I think technicals are like 10% of the game.
Mm.
Like 10% of trading, that's fundamentals. 90% psychology and fundamentals.
Mm.
You're gonna see a lot of people that they will know how to make a chart and make it look beautiful, and oh, look at this trade, it looks beautiful, but that's only 10% of trading. A lot of people will know how to make a technical analysis correctly in first 2-3 months. Everything else is just a matter of being patient and waiting for the price of the currency to get to a place where it's a good option to either buy it or sell it.
Yeah.
And fundamentals will help you with that. If you know where fundamentals should be, then you know that even though if it's lagging, or if the currency is not at the place where it should be, you know that technicals will help you, because if you see a head and shoulder, which is what I spotted in the Euro JPY trade last week, then you know that in that head and shoulder the move might happen. So you know that it's a good risk reward. Plus you got fundamentals on your side.
Mm.
I literally put a trade and I go to sleep.
So you kind of like focus mainly on the fundamentals, and then you use some technical patterns in order to execute the trade, right?
Yes.
Interesting. And was it like that from the beginning when you started, or you've been just first focusing on the learning the patterns and
Yeah, when I started, that's where I might think that it could be frustrating for traders that are starting, because you learn technicals and you think that technicals is everything, right? Like when you start. So for example, I can remember my early days as a rookie. I would go to like Forex Factory. I wouldn't even know what the news
Yeah.
meant. I only saw, oh, it's a red envelope.
Yeah.
It means that it's gonna be a
High
big move.
impact and low impact, that's all.
Yeah, so I would look at the news and I was like, okay, it's a red envelope. If the news come positive, then that means that it's gonna be positive for the currency, and
Yeah.
that's really not it. That's really not it. Like for example, you might think that raising interest rates, right, is going to be bad for the currency at a moment, and it's going to see that the envelope is going to look green because they raised it. Oh, it's good for the currency, but then in the narrative for that currency specifically, raising rates was not good. That's not what was expected. That's not what they wanted. So you see, like you might have seen a fake out with a bullish engulfing bar, and then you take that trade, and then there's after the fake out, there's a big candle
Correction.
eating all the technical analysis, killing everything, killing your analysis, taking that profit away from you. So it's like I said, technical analysis is good up to a point. But fundamentals will always win at the end of the day. Fundamentals will always be followed, because if you know, like for example, let's take it this week. For example, I don't know when this interview might come out, but I know that the Aussie should be stronger than where it is right now. So I'm trading right now. I'm just waiting for a good opportunity to either sell the Aussie crosses or buy the Aussie, because I know that it should not be where it is right now. It's super weak. China and Australia, they're really connected towards production. So when China's strong, Australia is strong. So I know that in the fundamentals, the Aussie's lagging. Same thing that happened with the Euro last week might happen this week with the GBP AUD, Euro AUD, AUD New Zealand. That's where I'm taking those. That's where I get that benefit from, right? I know where it should be. I know where it could be. So I'm just waiting on that nice opportunity technically to give me a good entry.
Yeah. Would you like to share your screen and show us where you choose your entries, where you put your stop loss, how you choose your target profit?
Yeah, let me open TradingView. So I sent out this message to my community. Like I was expecting the euro to drop from like 145 towards the 139, which is actually hit it. It hit it a few times. It's consolidated right now. We can see a consolidation right here.
Yeah.
So
So
that, but
top-down analysis. Are you doing a top-down analysis with the combination of the fundamentals, or you're sticking to one time frame when you execute the trades? I mean, when you
No,
unlock.
this entry I did it at 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna see it with me. So yeah, like for example, the euro, like I said, like we were talking about earlier, like we know that the euro should not be where it is, should be lower. So we've been trading. You see we traded that retracement, we sold it.
Mm-hmm.
It came back, we opened another position.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the market closed 144.7, we took another entry at 144.6.
Mm-hmm.
And we literally opened three trades at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
all the way down to like 143.9. That's about 270 pips when you look at it completely. Then after that, I didn't touch the euro just because I think they were like doing a lot of news at the moment, but it dropped pretty good.
Yeah.
Then we had that big retrade. This sweep, this liquidity grab that we saw. I was literally stocking this for like 5 hours. So I put an alert over here, and once it hit my alert, I was specifically looking maybe at like this head that it did right here. This we saw that it was rejecting this price at 144.9. So when I literally sent this out to them, I was like, if we get online like a big candle rejecting 1, 2, 3 at 15 minutes, we're taking that trade from 144.997, which with the spread and everything, it activated. And yeah, I mean, I didn't expect it to be that quick, but it was a crazy trade because in my time zone, this is 4 a.m. So when I took this entry, I woke up at 8 a.m. Like I jumped from the bed. I was like, oh, let me look at my trade just because I hadn't rolled my stop loss to the entry point. So I was like, maybe it came back. Maybe it did a retracement. Let me see if we can maybe take another position or move the stop loss to entry.
Yeah.
But my take profit had already hit at 8 a.m.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
it was a crazy trade.
Are you also looking at institutional levels? Because your entry is very close to 145
Yeah, I like to look at psychological levels uh for entries and yeah.
Which ones are you focusing at? Are you only focusing on 0, 0, or you focus also on 50, 20, 80?
Well, I liked 145 and I liked the structure and how it was rejecting, and then it came back down here, did a big liquidity sweep, and yeah, that's where I took the entry from. And we might see this week on the Aussie crosses. It might happen. So
And are you doing a top-down analysis like from weekly, daily down to the 15 minutes?
Not really. Not at the moment. I might do it sometimes if I know that something, like I said, if I see it, like, why is the move not happening? Why is it not happening? It should have happened already. Then yeah, I might do a top-down analysis, but I don't really do that every time. I might do it sometimes, but I don't really do it every time.
And how do you choose where to put the stop loss and where to put the target profit?
At least for the trades that I'm doing right now, like for example, Euro JPY, the JPY pairs, they tend to be very volatile. So I'll try to do 50 pips stops. For in a funded account, 300,000, I like to trade with 5 lots. So I know this is less than 1%. This is less than $3,000. It's usually 2,000, 2,500. So I usually like to have those 50 pip stops. And if it usually it will, like on my entry, on the entries that I do, it will usually be right on top of the last resistance that we saw. So even I did not look at this when I did my entry, but if I put my this horizontal line close to my stop loss, it's right up there,
Yeah.
So I don't really look at this neither. I always maintain my stops the same, 50, 35 pips. That's how I do it. That's my discipline. It's like with fundamental trading, that the price should not be here. So just maintaining 50 pips is just discipline. It's not a word. It's a matter of where it is and where it should be.
Yeah. And how do you choose your target profit?
Well, at least for this trade specifically, I knew that price had to be much lower than where it was. So I chose on like right on this support area close to it. That's where I put my take profit at the psychological level of 142.
Yeah.
But it went all the way down to 140, which is a big psychological level.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's on a smaller trade. I can maybe do this, for example, take it resistance support zone. it will all depend on where it is and where it should be.
Mm.
Like with fundamental trading, that's something that I'm very disciplined with, of just understanding of where it should be. That's my first question. Where it is, okay, it's at 144.9. That's definitely not where it should be. Just
Mm.
because Europe economy right now is under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So all this big moves, all this liquidity grabbing, I know it should not be there.
And can
Uh,
you tell us a little bit on how you analyze it fundamentally? So you're reading articles or you're looking at reports. How do you do the fundamental analysis?
well, the fundamental analysis I do, it will usually be like, for example, Europe, for example, mm, they were very blatant on raising interest rates, right? So when they started, we saw the euro go nuts. It went all the way up there, crazy. But now Lagarde, every time she speaks, she's, even though she's they're talking about raising interest rates, she's mostly dovish on raising interest rates, on where the economy is right now, where what they want and what they plan to do. So I know that they're pretty much dovish, and they're starting to slow down interest rates raise.
Mm.
So we take that. We know that the euro, even though it's strong right now, we know for a fact that in the future she's gonna stop raising interest rates, and that we already have that to our sites, right? So you have that on your site in knowledge based. You know that the euro should not be there, right?
Mm.
So what do we start to do? We start to look for crosses that are strong. So we
Mm.
know that the yen, even though it was like super weak a few weeks ago, we know that they're starting to ramp up production. We know that they started opening up the borders for visiting from foreigners.
Mm.
So you know that they had closed due to COVID. When everybody was opening, China was still closing.
Yeah.
Japan was still closing. They were not accepting tourists. So that's the first thing we had. We had them opening up their borders.
Mm.
Then about a month later, we saw that they started ramping up production and opening up facilities that produce, and they were producing more than normally. So we know that production is starting. We know that they open their borders, and we have the euro, which is stopping, which they're starting to act dovish on raising interest rates, because they never raised that in the past, right?
Mm.
So we got these three things on our side. So what do we do now? We start to look for these big rejections. We
Yeah.
look at the structure, making lower highs, lower lows, lower lows, lower highs, and that's where we take the positions from.
Yeah.
We look for the best place where we can sell this. So we look for lower time frames, and boom, you got this great entry.
Yeah. Are you looking as well on sentimentals or not?
Not really. Not really. Right now I'm only observing that. Yeah, that's really what I'm looking for. Dixie, for example, the dollar. We know there's a lot of things that you don't want to get like overcharged and like over carried with a lot of things
Mm.
coming in.
And
You might.
do you trade all the pairs that you have on the list, or you have favorite ones that you're focusing on?
Well, being a fundamental trader, that's something else that will benefit you. That you can trade any currency, because all you have to do is look for what's the strongest currency and what's the weakest currency,
Yeah.
fundamentally, right?
Yeah.
So if I know that the Aussie should not be where it is right now, right? What am I gonna do with this? We already see what's happening. It's the same thing that's happening in Euro, that happened in Euro JPY. You're gonna see it in Euro AUD. Same things. Look at it. It's starting right now.
Starting to create higher highs, higher low. Yeah.
It's starting.
Mm.
We already broke structure. We made that lower low. Now it's gonna happen. Same thing that happened in Euro JPY. So it's just a matter of being patient and waiting for the big opportunity.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's do a little forecast. Maybe from here, we got 200 pips right there. Easy move, and we're gonna see it. Or we're gonna talk about it in the future, Anna. You're gonna see that fundamentals will always play out, and we know the euro should not be where it is.
Mm.
So that's where the opportunities is right now. If I know that the Aussie should be way stronger than where it is, because China is ramping up production, and Australia and China and Japan have very much have a lot of connection on being bullish and bearish towards production, that I know the Aussie should be way stronger where it is.
So what you would wait for is for price to grab some liquidity, and then you're gonna look for opportunities to take short from the 160,400 level, right?
Yeah, I marked this forecast. I still have to look at it maybe a little bit more, just because this is a neckline. We could look at it like technically. We could see that the price broke, so it could it could get to 160, 200 with this like Aussie pairs, like Euro Aussie tends to make a lot of crazy moves
Yeah.
before doing that big move. So we might wait for a big rejection and then on the retracement we can enter. But those are technicals, right?
Yeah.
Those are technical things that we might have to look into. Just like
Because if you just focus on the fundamentals, you will kind of not know exactly when to enter, isn't it? That's why you have
exactly,
to
yeah.
like combine it. Because
Yeah.
you know what to expect long term, but you don't know how to make the execution. So you need the technicals to make the execution.
Yeah. The market will never make it easy for you. So, a lot of people will enter over here probably. This would be the place where a lot of people would enter. Oh, I'm going to enter here because this is a big resistance. I wouldn't enter here. I would wait for the market to eat out the people that are going to be here.
Yeah, yeah.
I might have to be patient because it might get here and go back down, and then then it might go back up, or it might break down from here and then do a retracement. It's a matter of being patient.
Yeah.
But
You
like I
get
said, like
FOMO in such kind of situations, like if you see a good big rejection and you're just thinking, okay, I'm gonna wait, and then you see a big move. Is it like causing FOMO to you? Is it happening that you're like, has it happened that you're jumping into a position due to?
yeah, it has happened because I'm not let's say like for that moment my psychological discipline went out the roof. It went out the window, which is a mistake, and I learned from it, right? So it's been a while since the last time I did that. But we can talk about gold last week.
Yeah.
It went like what 500, 600 pips to the upside. And I did sell it from some psychological levels. When I lost 50 pips, I was like, I'm not touching this anymore. I'm not gonna touch it just because I know that it's not gonna do. It's not reacting to the levels that I'm playing out, right? So I'm just not gonna touch it. I'm already about 300 pips up with Euro JPY. I gave 50 pips to the market. It's okay. Tomorrow is a new day. I'm not going to rush. I'm not going to keep opening sell positions. I'm just going to be patient.
So, when we mentioned the FOMO, what is your psychology towards trading and what have you done to improve your psychology?
I think my psychology has gotten a lot stronger with the losses that I've had. And like every loss that I have, I learned from it. I know that I should have not done it, maybe, right? Because one thing that I think one thing that a lot of people, and at least being a fundamental trader, one thing that you really have to look out for is that if the market is bearish, you should never buy. And that's something that every trader should do. But at least I have to have my discipline. I will not tell everyone, oh, don't do this, don't do this. No, if you like to buy in a bearish market, I mean that's you. I'm not gonna tell you you're doing it wrong. But at least from my perspective, in a bearish market, you should never buy. Just because market is just the sellers are just waiting for the price to get to a point where they can sell it. And you're gonna see that all those 18 candles to the upside, there's gonna be a big one that's gonna eat 10, 15 candles. So what's the best thing you can do? You just gotta be patient and wait for the best price to sell it. So in a bearish market, you know how most people will tell you, at least when I was a rookie, a lot of people would tell me the best thing about Forex is that you can make money to the upside and to the downside. If I like when I'm teaching people now, when I'm explaining to them how the market should be, I'm like, no, if we're selling, we're looking for the highest price to sell. We're not buying all the way up there. We're just being patient and waiting for structure to get to the best place where we can sell it from.
Yeah.
And if we're buying,
the trades.
And if we're buying, we're waiting for the lowest price where we can buy from.
Yeah. And you said that you have your own community. So have you noticed like improvement in your trading by trying to help others to learn and is it helping you to develop your trading skills and to kind of get another picture of your trading?
100%, 100%. Just because I like if I would not have a community, I must accept that. Yeah, I might wake up sometimes and be lazy, right? Sometimes I could wake up at 7 a.m. and I'd be like, oh no, I'm going back to sleep. It's okay. I'm gonna take the day off today. With the community, I have to let them know, like, listen, I'm here. What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Is everyone following the plan? Everybody's okay. You got to treat them like I'm your family. I'm here with you. Let's do this. So like having the community makes me understand a lot more the market, and I'm more time inside the market just because I'm analyzing a little bit more,
Mm.
so I know where it would have been, where it was, and it helps me with that, with that discipline, those three rules that I have:
Mm.
where it is, where it should be, and where it will be.
Yeah. And so I believe you're keeping a journal by sharing all your analysis with your community. Are you sharing with them also your psychological, like your emotional side, or only the technical analysis? Like, are you sharing any tips when it comes to psychology, discipline, and mindset?
I share with them psychologicals, and I think I'm a very open trader. Like,
Mhm.
if I lose money, we'll all lose money together. I'm not the type of trader where I took an entry and I didn't share it with everyone. If I
Mm.
take an entry, I'm sharing it with them. And we have a few funded traders already
Mhm.
uh on my community. And most of them have been in the markets less time than me.
Wow,
So I know that I'm doing something right.
that's great.
and
That's
and
an
and
incredible feeling, I can imagine.
oh yeah, definitely. And even though, like, my community is not a community for signals, right? I always say this to them: you have access to my brain.
Mm.
Like, if I throw a signal out there, then it's just a plus.
Yeah, they have the opportunity to kind of see how it's done from someone who has shown that you know how to control your risk, how to do the analysis, and yeah, how to play this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. What advice would you give to new traders that are just getting started?
The biggest advice that a new trader could get is to focus on one thing. There's something that I truly hate about being new, and is that when you're new, you don't have that strong mentality. So it will it will make you not trust yourself.
Mm.
And I've seen so many traders that have 40 groups where they're taking signals from, and learning from 40 people at the same time. And that's the biggest mistake you can make as a trader. You need to focus on one thing. If you want to be successful doing smart money, doing ICT, doing fundamentals, even with technical analysis, you can be profitable.
Yeah.
But if you don't focus on only on one thing, then it will not help you be successful in this, because you're just looking at so many places at the same time, taking mindset from different people, taking technical analysis from different people, instead of just trusting yourself and trusting the process that you're in.
Yeah.
So if you trust the process and you trust specifically one person, you will definitely be successful. It's all a matter of being patient, right?
Yeah. What was your biggest aha moment in your trading career? Like,
Like, eye-opening moment.
yeah.
Wow, I think the biggest moment was I took a $1,000 account to like $10,000, and then I took it from 10,000 to like $60,000.
Wow.
And then I lost a lot of that money
Mm.
on GBP JPY. I will never forget. It was
Mm.
a big. It was I lost like maybe like $40,000.
Wow.
So my big moment was when I realized all the time that I had spent
Mm.
making this account go all the way up to $60,000.
Mm.
And then I lost that because I didn't know how to manage risk properly.
Yeah.
My psychological discipline was not there still.
Mm.
So even though I made all that money, I wasn't ready for all that money. And I realized that a lot of people, and myself, I wasn't ready to make all that money at that time. And I lost a lot of that money.
Yeah.
Right. So my big moment was when I realized that, yeah, this might not be my time right now,
Mm.
but I need to be disciplined and I need to keep going, because the world is not going to end tomorrow because I lost 70% of my account.
Yeah.
And it happens to a lot of traders where they will open a position, they will move the stop loss, they will open another trade, and market will just keep rallying and rallying and rallying. And those big liquidity graphs that you see is from a lot of rookie traders that are not willing to accept the loss that they had.
Mm.
So I think that was my big moment, learning, understanding that when you're ready to make a lot of money, you will understand, you will be very disciplined with it, and you will respect it. So I think that was my big moment, one of my probably the biggest loss I ever had. And it's a frustrating part, but at the same time, when you look back at it, I think that, like I said, that's my big moment. That's where I changed, and I was like, this cannot happen ever again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
is the last time I ever lost all that money. That was my big moment.
When
Making a lot of money and then losing it. Probably like a year and 7 months, maybe 2 years ago.
Okay. And you said that you became profitable 2 years from the moment you started. So it was kind of like at the beginning of the period when you became profitable.
That was my big turning point. That was my big turning point because I knew that I was profitable already, but my psychological discipline was still not there. So even though I was profitable doing analysis and trading, myself, my discipline was still not there. So after I switched that up, it's been success from then.
Amazing. Any last words that you would like to share with us?
No, just be patient, understand the process, and don't look at 100 things at the same time. Be patient, understand your process, and then you will be successful.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing your experience with us, and wish you good luck with the next challenge. Hope to have follow up soon with bigger payouts, and you're getting the maximum allocation if you pass the next one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. Good luck with it and hope to have a follow-up in the very near future.
Thank you.
To all of you watching, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't done that yet, and show us some love in the comments down below. Happy trading, and until next time.